Yes, and welcome to a very brief video. This is the final video for part 2 of your edTPA assignment. It covers only 2.3. So hopefully now you've developed your quiz and you're ready to pilot your quiz. What does that mean? Well, it means that you're going to go out and find a student. This is a student who's about the age that your lesson and quiz are targeted at, and you're going to teach him or her your lesson. And then you're going to give the student a quiz. Now, it's important to let the student know because they're probably a family member or a friend of the family or even an actual student that this is just something to help you. It's not going to be graded, and so to relieve any anxiety they have. As the student takes the quiz, ask him or her to talk to you to answer questions and to comment on the quiz. So the student might be taking your quiz and say, I don't understand this question. Write that down and help them. If the student says something about this is confusing, or if the student says, you didn't teach me this, I don't understand, I don't get it, say, what don't you get? And then try to take notes during the time the student is taking the quiz so you can improve upon your quiz. That's what we mean by piloting it. So after you do this, part of this assignment requires on your template to say who was the student, what grade level was the student in, how did the student score on the quiz, what about the quiz might have confused the student, why do you think it was confusing, and what would you change about the quiz, or did you change based on the student's experience? So it's important to make these changes to the quiz and then write about what you changed. Based on what you learned from a student actually taking this. So that completes the end of part 2. So you're going to submit part 2 next week to the link in the weekly folder. You don't submit it into the link in the edTPA folder. That's for the actual final assignment, parts 1, 2, and 3. But as I've said to you before, it's also important to have revised part 1 based on my feedback. If you revise, please leave my comments in place and just make your changes in the document on red. And then, of course, you'll add in your part 2. So you'll submit your revised part 1 and your new part 2, which is the pre-assessment, formative assessment, the summative quiz, and the piloting exercise, the answers to these questions next week. It'll be a light week next week so that you can finish this up for part 2. And then after you submit part 2, we'll go on to part 3, which is an analysis of some hypothetical data. Everybody, thank you.